Hi, I'm Kevin from Hutson Engineering Services and welcome back to the third instalment of the Generation 2 Vanquish engine repair, upgrade, improvements. So as you can see, the engine is now completed. Now this engine has undergone some really significant upgrades. Upgrades in terms of performance, upgrades in terms of increased durability and future proofing as well. It's been a fantastic project. We've really enjoyed the detail that has gone into this engine, and I hope you enjoy looking at some of the processes that we'll be showing you in this video. And also can just draw your attention to our website, astonenginebuilders.com. If you click onto the project section, you can have a look at all the current projects that we're working on, and if you click onto the Generation 2 Vanquish, which is this project, you'll see the detailed images right from the very start of the project, going through each step of the machining, the assessments and the parts that have gone into it, the upgrades that have gone into it, and everything right from the start to the end. So please have a click on that and have a look and enjoy the rest of the video. So we're just looking at the pistons, and I say we're at the assembly stage now. So most of all the internal components have had the first couple of stages of cleaning. We'll give them a final check before they're actually inserted. But these are the 6.5 litre pistons. They're a beautiful forged piston with an increased bore. That's how we get the larger capacity. These are all weight matched, balanced within half a gram. They're a really good quality piston, so we've not actually had to remove any weight manually from the pistons, but we have. Because this engine is a variable valve engine, we need a little bit of extra clearance on the inlet valve, so we've machined the pockets on the pistons a little bit deeper for the inlet side just to give us that extra clearance. The piston rings are all here in this little holder, so the piston rings have been gapped into the bores. The next stage is with the conrods. They've all been bored now, so we talked about this in the last video. This has got the uprated little end bush, which is a complex graphite matrix. You feel that it's beautiful. It's so smooth. Now we bore these and we leave just 5 to 10 microns in, which is about 4/10 to 2/10 of a thousandth of an inch, and then we can just give them a quick finish home to get them absolutely spot on for the rods. The oil pump is brand new, but we disassemble them and we make sure everything inside is absolutely perfect and all the orifices flow nicely, as you would expect. That was very good actually, so we'll just reassemble that. Piston rings are gapped. The crankshaft has been balanced. The auto inline damper as well, that's been balanced along with the front pulley damper. Pistons balanced, rods balanced, so that's the bottom end. The next interesting part is if we have a look at the cylinder block. So we're just hovering over the cylinder block here. This is pretty much now ready for assembly. We've done the dummy build, the main bearings have been fitted, all tolerances have been checked and sized. Crankshaft pre-fit has been carried out. We've had we'll look at the cylinder heads also. So we've had the crank in, we've had a rod in, we've had a piston in, we've had the cylinder head on with a couple of valves, and we checked clearances. We modified the pistons as we said before. So we're at the assembly stage. With regards the liner system, now this is a 6 litre, so that's had the uprated liner system fitted. That's for a DB7 GT. So that's had the new liner system fitted, but it's the same capacity, so it's still the original bore size. This is the increased bore, taking the capacity up to 6.5 litre. Now, the liner system that is in this engine, we've worked very closely with a company called Hutson. You might know these. They're very big in the Porsche world, and we've adapted the liner system, the liner technology that Hutson use incredibly successfully in their Porsche engines. They supplied thousands of Porsche engines, and they're absolutely durable, and they've never had any failures or issues relating to this liner system. It is absolutely solid and completely durable. Now, we've incorporated that into the Aston Martin V12 engine, and the reason being is we wanted to future-proof the engines and make them really durable. So we can upgrade performance as we see fit based on this absolutely solid bottom end. And as you can see, we'll pan in a moment and we'll see just how beautiful it is. And the liners become an integral part of the cylinder block, and the materials are compatible with each other. So when you've got a cast iron liner in there, things can move. The aluminium liners with the Nikasil bore enables the liners to move with the block and expand and contract as they see fit, all in conjunction with each other. So it's a really nice job, and we're building quite a few of these now, and they're going very well indeed. Just looking at the cylinder heads here now, they've been a huge amount of detail gone into the cylinder heads, increasing the performance and increasing durability. So what we've done is the heads have been extensively gas flowed. They've been approximately 150 hours of labour gone into gas flowing and optimising the inlet and the exhaust ports. These are the Generation 2 Vanquish heads, which are the VVC heads. Now, what we found through the development is the ports have been changed over the original head. So the ports are actually quite big. Now, we don't do the gas flowing here. We have the flow bench and so on. We have somebody that specialises in gas flowing and port optimisation and airflow optimisation. So we entrusted him with the cylinder heads. He does a fabulous job. The changes in the ports, the optimisation, we've not seen a massive percent that we can see with the earlier, say, the DB9 heads. The DB9 heads have a smaller port, which enables us to optimise the shape, increase in flow. We can probably, I think we're working towards 20-25% increase on the inlet port for the DB9 heads. These are not quite that, but we're probably 25-30% more than an original DB9 head. But the increase on these it's not been 20%. It's been a decent percentage. It's been worth doing. The overall durability has been increased by changing every single component in the head. So we've changed all the valves, inlet and the exhaust valves. The valve guides didn't have any wear at all. They're absolutely spot on. The stem seals, obviously replaced, all new roller rockers, all new hydraulics, all new valve springs. In fact, the only thing that we are retaining is, funnily enough, the valve spring retainers and collets, so they're not a wear part. So the heads have been optimised. Cylinder head faces have been machined minimum amount and measured, so the cylinder heads are both equal. They've been extensively cleaned and expertly built by Alistair, who's not about today. So as a package, the engine's coming together and it's looking absolutely fabulous, and we're really happy with it so far. So we've just come out of the assembly area in the cylinder head area. We're in our little dirty room. This is where we carry out all the cleaning and the wire brushing and the dirty aspect of the job. So I don't think you've seen down here before, but this is a really important aspect of the engine building, remanufacturing and processes, because without this cleanliness, all the hard work that you've put in will be easily undone just by having an engine that's contaminated. Now, these are the inlet manifolds off the Vanquish engine. Now, those of you that have seen the first video would know that the engine actually had a failed primary cat, and it was ingested into the engine, causing cylinder, piston and cylinder wall damage. The inlet manifolds are absolutely full of the ceramic dust. Now, Alistair has been meticulously cleaning, mainly this one actually. He's been on this for like 4 hours today, because the dust is so fine, and it is in every single orifice of the inlet manifold. So using various implements and vacuum cleaners, we've going through stages of removing every single particle. Then we'll get a camera inside and we'll have a look to make sure that everything's gone. But if you imagine if the engine was remanufactured, rebuilt, and all the hard work was gone, this was put back on without cleaning it, we would just be in exactly the same situation that caused the issues that we've had to deal with. So if you've had a cat ingested engine, or you're working on one, just make sure that all your ancillaries, anything that could potentially be contaminated with this highly destructive ceramic dust, is removed. If it takes a day, if it takes 2 days, it's absolutely paramount that you spend that time, and cleanliness really is the key here. As you can see, most of it's gone into the vacuum cleaner, but even just a thin whisper of that into the cylinder and it'd be game over. It really would. So moving forward a few days, the engine is now pretty much completely assembled. The next steps is a few finer details that we need to finalise, and then the engine will be off the stand and it will be delivered to our good friends over at Q Branch Automotive, who are carrying out all the mechanical upgrades and work on this vehicle. The overall project has been absolutely fabulous. One of my favourites in the 30 years or so I've been doing this. Everything has just gone together really well. Everything that we have put into the engine, we're hoping that'll complement each other, and there's been improvements made right from the bottom end, from the balancing, the high tolerance balancing, the DLC coated gudgeon pins, the improved material for the little end bushes, the fantastic liner system with the Nikasil liners, the upgrade in capacity to 6.5 litres, the gas-flowed cylinder heads, and of course the red crackle finish cam covers, which was a specific request from the owner. I think they look fabulous. Everything is just been really, really wonderful. Now, we are at the end of the project, but this is hopefully not going to be the last that you see of this engine. So when it's installed in the car, we're going to have a word with the owner and see if we can maybe go and follow him on a trip and maybe get his feedback as well. But we'll have to see if he's up for that. But we will be reporting back on it for sure. And this isn't our last YouTube video giving an insight into Aston Martin engines. We've got loads of stuff to come. There's further developments on the V12 engines, but that's not going to be a road car. That's just in the pipeline. We're doing something else which is really going to be really surprising as well. So I hope you come on board for that. So thank you again for watching. Have a look over our website, astonenginebuilders.com, and all the other things that we've got going on, and thank you.